guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today it is time for my 14-week pregnancy update. So according to my Ovia app, baby H is about the size of a beet, which I don't really know the size of a beet, but in other apps, I think the What to Expect app says that baby is the size of a large lemon, which is really crazy. Like that's big. So let's see what's happening to baby H this week. At 14 weeks, baby H's immune system is starting to develop. Baby H is moving like crazy, though you probably can't feel it, which I haven't yet. By week 14, they can squint, frown, and even suck their thumb, which is really cool. The fur, like lanugo, is covering most of their body to keep them warm before the baby fat comes in, and the liver, spleen, and kidneys continue to develop and function better every day. Baby H is growing like crazy. They are about 3.5 inches long, the size of a beet, and has doubled in weight since last week. That is crazy. I'm gonna start with my symptoms. The round ligament pain has been real, like painful, to the point where one day I couldn't get out of bed. It just lasted for hours and hours. Like, fine, maybe it wasn't hours and hours, maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic. No, but it lasted at least for a couple hours, and I was just stuck. Like, at some point I was able to get out of bed and get into the bath and kind of like see if I could like soak for a little bit, and I was able to kind of go out later in the evening, but it was real. Like, I felt like I couldn't get up, I couldn't get out of bed. Like, the pain was just boom, 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 boom. And that's the worst that I've had it. I've had it, you know, here and there, but nothing that's lasted for such a long time. So that was kind of crazy. Breast tenderness is still there, not as bad. I find that it's slowing down even more, but still just a little bit. Nausea is still here. It's not as frequent, but I think it's mostly that I'm not eating as frequently as I should be. And once I let myself get hungry, even though I don't feel hungry, the nausea kicks in and I'm like, oh, I guess I should have a snack, or like, oh, I guess the baby's hungry. Like, it kicks in, I think, at those times, not really like before where it was just like nausea no matter what I do, because usually when I eat, the nausea will go away. So that's kind of, I have to be more conscious about eating more frequently, eating snacks and things like that to just kind of keep myself at a good level. So I have to work on that. Something I've noticed about like hair growth, which is already insane, but like my stomach is like a little hairy beast. Like, it's like, I don't know, I feel like a bear. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what? I've never had hair on my stomach, at least noticeable hair on my stomach. And now I look at it and I'm like, oh boy, it's like you could shave the thing. Like, what's going on? It's ridiculous. I don't like it. I feel like a teddy bear. It's not good. Another symptom I've had is acne, and there will be times where I just break out real crazy, and other times I'm not so bad. So I've had a lot of breakouts on my jawline, a lot like in between the ladies, and that's been mostly it. But it's just kind of, it comes and goes, and all of a sudden it flares up and I've got like 10 pimples, and then like I had a pimple here, and you know, I go to my parents' house and my dad's like, why do you have all these pimples? I'm like, really? But my dad keeps it real, like he's the first person to be like, ooh, what happened? I'm like, it's called hormones, Dad. But whatever. I've noticed that I have this, like, I don't know how to explain it except like a full feeling, but not full like your stomach. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the weight of my stomach, but it gives me this full feeling that like, I used to be able to kind of still lay on my back and it wouldn't be painful. And now I find, like, especially at night and in the morning, like early morning before I get up, it feels so full and like heavy. Like, it just feels heavy, and maybe that's what it is. And I didn't have that, and that's just kind of started in the last few days. So that's been kind of new. I have to kind of stay on my sides and rotate a little bit more frequently so that my back doesn't start to hurt. But yeah. Nasal congestion has kicked into pretty high gear. I've noticed, like, especially in the mornings, but like random times during the day, all of a sudden I feel like stuffed up and I'm like blowing my nose and I'm like, what is happening? Because that's not normal for me. So there's that. It's kind of annoying. It kind of almost feels like, I guess I've never had allergies, so I don't know if I could compare it to that, but it's kind of like when you have the beginning or the very end of a cold and you just are like randomly just like stuffed up, but mostly comes in the morning or at night, so that's been happening. I've had some lightheadedness, and that's mostly from me getting up too quickly. I feel like I told Huang the other day, like I have these moments where it's like I forget that I'm pregnant, like it just slips my mind and I jump up off the couch to do something and I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. And he's like, you need to just sit down, like what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I don't know, there's these moments where if I don't feel nauseous and I don't feel, I'm at a point where like I feel big and I feel heavy and I feel like all this stuff. So, you know, I have these moments where I feel like just me, like my old self, my pre-pregnant self, and I just jump up off the couch to do what I have to do or jump out of bed to do whatever. And then I'm like, yeah, you can't do that. Don't do that anymore. So I've had a little bit of lightheadedness. That's pretty much it for symptoms. In terms of cravings, they've been not as many as in previous weeks, but I've had a few, some fulfilled and some not fulfilled, which is upsetting. I've had a big craving for seafood, so we did have, like, I make this like seafood pasta. We had that for dinner last night and I felt pretty like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. Because I've just had that craving for like seafood and like salmon and things like. I've had this craving for jerk pork. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I, on a regular basis, love it. But I feel like in the last few days, like I've been like, I want some jerk pork. Another craving that I've had is sushi, which before anybody gets too up in arms, I don't eat anything raw. So it's not even a concern if I have the sushi because I really don't eat, I don't eat anything that's raw in it, or like I don't do sashimi like that. I'm not about that. So I'm still pretty much good to go to eat it, but I haven't been interested in it. I feel like for a while wasn't really interested in any kind of anything that was seafood. It was just mostly like steak and things like that, ribs and stuff that I was into. Not so much any kind of seafood and not so much chicken, but I feel like that's sort of starting to come back. So I've been kind of like thinking about sushi, like maybe. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to just show you a few things that I have purchased, not really for baby, but just for myself. I haven't started buying anything for baby. I think I'm slowly getting to the point of wanting to buy a few things. But what I did buy, which is a few weeks ago, if you guys watched my vlogs for August, you'll know that I already bought this, which is my What to Expect When You're Expecting book. Yeah, so this is the 5th edition of the What to Expect When You're Expecting. Both my sisters had one and kind of recommended that I get one, and I did. And it's really helpful that like I can see like, oh, what would be happening at this week, although I have my app. It's good to look up things that I'm experiencing, like the round ligament pain or the as you're noticing now, the nasal congestion, and kind of be able to look it up and see, yes, it is normal, this is normal, yes, you can use this, don't use this, things like that, like quick at my tip. And I'm a person who likes books. I do love the internet and things like that, but I love having a book, so I find that very helpful. And the other two things that I have is that I'm starting to rub down in preparation for getting bigger, not so much for stretch marks, because I have stretch marks from where I've gained weight in the past. So it's not really in terms of preventing them, because I already kind of have some, but I guess it's just to keep it like, so it's not itchy as it grows, and maybe if it could just reduce the appearance of the stretch marks, that'll be nice. But I mean, I'm not really stressed out about stretch marks because I already have them. So the first thing that I've been using is, this is just a container that my mom gave me, but this is coconut oil, and this is just organic It's organic. And so she just took some that she had in her big container and she gave it to me in this container. So this is what I am using. I use it every morning after I shower, and I use it at night right before I go to bed. And it works really well. It makes like my skin feel so much smoother now, and I just like the feeling of it. But for me, it's like not very portable in terms of taking it anywhere. So I did go out the other day and I bought the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula, and this is the massage cream for stretch marks. So this is the one that I bought. It says for tummy, hips, thighs, and bust. And I used it this morning. I like the scent of it, although I feel like it doesn't apply as nicely as the coconut oil does. So maybe if I had gotten this instead of the cream, if I had gotten I think it comes also in an oil and a tummy butter. So maybe if I'd gotten it in the oil, I would have liked just the way that it applies, like a lot smoother, a lot nicer. Other than that, I really love the smell. It has a really nice smell, and it works well. So we'll see. This is good for me to have on the go, to kind of like put in my bag when I'm going to travel anywhere, or you know, anywhere that you start to feel it. Like I could take it in stick it in my purse and basically have it whenever. Officially, according to every way that you look at it, or every book or article or whatever, I am in my second trimester, which is uber exciting. It's so exciting to be out of the first trimester, which for me was a little bit brutal, but it's just so cool to know that like that whole trimester is done and now I'm already in the second trimester. Like time is flying, but it's not. Like it's kind of a weird feeling. So yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so I will show you my 14-week bump. Okay, so this is my bump. It's the easiest to see it from the side. That's why I don't show you guys the front, because it really doesn't look like much from the front. But from the side, this is what the bump looks like. 14 weeks. I feel like it still kind of looks the same to me anyways. And then just with my tank top, that is what the 14-week bump looks like. That's it. Baby H, the size of a beet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you are also pregnant and you're in your 14th week, leave a comment down below on how you're doing. What's your biggest craving? What symptoms are you experiencing that you're dealing with? I'd love to know and talk to other moms out there. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys aren't already subscribed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.